What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold podcast. And today we're coming back with another team mock draft video. And I just finished recording the previous video, the Arizona Cardinals mock draft. If you guys haven't seen that yet, you should probably go check it out. But today, no, because we already did the Chargers, which was the video before the Cardinals video. So if you haven't seen that one, you should go check that one out too. But today, all we are doing the Atlanta Falcons. Shout out to my boy Dylan, who's from Georgia and is an Atlanta Falcons fan. So we're going to take a look at their depth chart real quick before we head into anything draft related. So Matt Ryan looks like he's going to be the guy again. I was calling for them to draft a quarterback back in the actually last year's draft, the 2021 draft, but they took Kyle Pitts instead. But it seems like they're pretty dedicated to Matt Ryan, and I think they have to be considering what his contract situation is as well. So I don't really see them taking a quarterback yet. Cordero Patterson, hopefully they can bring him back. He was pretty much the MVP of the team. Now, this is the biggest question mark of the team, wide receiver, because it doesn't sound like Calvin Ridley's coming back, even though they want him to. But after that, Russell Gage didn't have that bad of a season, but Tajay Sharp, okay, Olamide Zaccheaus, Christian Blake, you don't want those guys playing. You want a legit wide receiver out there. So it's going to be tough without Calvin Ridley if he doesn't come back. But they're going to have to, make some decisions this offseason. Now, Kyle Pitts, obviously one of the best rookie tight ends that we've seen in a very long time. He's going to be there for quite some time. And then taking a look at that offensive line, Matthews has been solid. Jalen Mayfield, yeah, he's been iffy, but he's still a young player, still has a lot of time to develop. So, we're going to keep him in there and just see how he progresses over the years. Matt Hennessy at center. Chris Lindstrom had a phenomenal year. I don't believe he gave up a single sack this season, so congrats to him. Huge strides. And looks like he's going to be a very good guard for a very long time. So, and then Caleb McGarry is your other tackle on the right side. So there are some parts at the offensive line that we can fix, but it's not the biggest need on this team. Now, this is a huge need. Okay, Jonathan Bullard and Tyler Davidson, those two guys, I don't think should be starting at all. So if we can get some big defensive linemen on the inside, that would be highly beneficial for this team. And then Steven Means, not the greatest either. But you take a look at the two inside linebackers that you have in Deion Jones and Foyesay Oluokun. That is a pretty solid duo to have up in the middle. Almost forgot to mention Grady Jarrett, very underrated as a defensive lineman in this league. And then Dante Fowler is the other edge rusher. So, getting pressure on the quarterback is also very important. So we may consider taking a pass rusher with our first pick. And then taking a look at the cornerback position, we have Terrell, who also had a phenomenal year, got snubbed as a first team All Pro. I can't believe it. The media and whoever is voting on the All Pros, okay, is just stupid. Flat out stupid. It's just like, what is, the benefit to being an All Pro or a Pro Bowler anymore? There is none, really, in my opinion. And then Fabian Moreau. So, again, there are a lot of gaps that this team still needs to fill. This is a team that is certainly rebuilding right now. Had a fairly decent season. I know their schedule wasn't the most difficult. And then again, Deron Harmon, Eric Harris. The secondary is not good. So, there are a lot of needs on this team. And I messed up the thing because we need to go 3 rounds. As I was saying, this team has a lot of needs, and so I feel like the best approach to attack this draft for the Falcons, if I can find them, oh my goodness, is to draft best player available. So we're gonna be sitting here with the number 8 overall pick, and who do we want to take? Wow, there are certainly some intriguing options here with the number 8 overall pick. Now, Derek Stingley is extremely talented. The only issue that I think myself and other people have with Derek Stingley is that he hasn't been on the field. It's just when he's on the field, he's so good, and that's where the conflict is with Stingley. And I think a lot of the teams in the NFL are dealing with the same issue. So I don't want to take a chance on a guy who might not be playing a ton for me, especially considering that this is a top 10 pick. I want to get a guy who I know is going to be on the field and who is going to, be highly impactful. It's just I think injuries do degrade a player's value a little bit. I think guys like Christian McCaffrey, I think his value has gone down a little bit because he hasn't been on the field as much as you'd want him to be, right? So there are guys who are highly talented and are not on the field. It's all for nothing. But I wish the best for Derek Stingley. I hope wherever he does go, he can remain healthy and live up to his potential. But taking a look what's on the board. Jameson Williams is my favorite guy, but again, this is a guy who's coming off an ACL injury, so I don't want to take any chances here with my top 10 pick. Right now, I think I'm going to take Jordan Davis. I this is just what a tandem this would be in the middle with Grady Jarrett and Jordan Davis. Now, Jordan Davis is going to be more of a two-down type defensive tackle who's going to stuff the run for you, but oh man, that would be scary. Now, even David Ajabo, I really like David Ajabo as well. And see, I feel like we can live by, passing up on Jordan Davis, I think, because we have Grady Jarrett. And Dante Fowler has just been a huge waste of money since they signed him. I don't want Steven Means as my second edge rusher. So I think we're going to bring in David Ajabo, and he already comes from a 3-4 defense under Harbaugh in Michigan. He's going to come into a very similar scheme here in Atlanta. I think David Ajabo makes a ton of sense right here. And this is a guy who's going to create a ton of turnovers. He knows how to attack the ball, strip the ball out of the quarterback's hands. I really like David Ajabo. I really don't know what the order of my edge rushers is after Hutchinson and Thibodeau. But David Ajabo, I mean, he doesn't get the light of day because all of the attention that goes to Aiden Hutchinson at Michigan. But Ajabo is a really, really good edge rusher. So, his talent certainly cannot go under the radar. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this pick. I really like David Ajabo, so I did not have a problem with this. Now, looks like things are kind of aligning for us because David Bell right here is a big playmaker out of Purdue, and I think that this is a no-brainer pick. I think we have to take him here. This addresses our wide receiver need here. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I really like this. We're gonna go David Bell out of Purdue. I don't even have to think about that. There goes John Mechie, but also again, that's another guy who's dealing with a ton of injuries right now. Looks like we have another second round pick. This one was from Julio Jones. Um, okay, this one would be an interesting one because who's the second running back? I believe it's Mike Davis, but Mike Davis hasn't been. I don't think they're gonna bring him back at all. Oh, how interesting would it be if they brought in a quarterback right here with this pick? That actually wouldn't be too bad of an idea if you think about it. Because now, would it be Sam Howell? It would definitely be Carson Strong. Carson Strong is a guy who I think is a first round talent. Um, I wouldn't be shocked if he found the second round in the actual draft coming up in April. Because that's a guy that I don't know if he plays immediately. I think you sit him down for a year or two and develop under someone, and to have someone groom under Matt Ryan and potentially be the franchise quarterback who carries on for the Falcons, I don't think that would be a bad idea. The only thing, voice crack, the only thing that's stopping me is Kenneth Walker because if you compare him up with Cordero Patterson, oh, that would be lethal as well. Guys, I'm going to go Carson Strong here. I've been calling for them to draft a quarterback, and I don't think Carson Strong would be a bad pick. I mean, it's a second round pick right here to potentially get your franchise quarterback, and this is a guy who has tons of talent, especially in terms of arm strength. And he's not the most mobile guy. He's the guy who's going to sit in the pocket. So your O-line's going to have to be, clean for him. I mean, just like every other quarterback, but I think you know what I mean. He's not going to be able to extend any plays, but if you let him set his feet and just make some throws, it's phenomenal where his ball placement, or how good his ball placement has been at his time in Nevada. Okay, I believe this is our last pick, and we're here in the third round now. What do we want to do here? See, this could be interesting. We could replace both of the edge rushers that we have right now on the team, or at least get a little bit of a rotation going in there. Do we have tight end depth? Yes, we certainly do. I forgot Hayden Hurst even existed. Wow. Guys, I'm going to bring in Drake Jackson out of USC. And again, this is a guy with tons of potential as well. If these two guys can come into Atlanta, right? And you have two lethal edge rushers. I mean, Drake Jackson's definitely going to take a little bit more time to kind of blossom in the league. But Fowler and Means are just not the answer right now. Okay, you're not going to get pressure out of those two guys. But wow, imagine getting like two potential future edge rushers to start for your team for the next 7-10 years or so. So we go David Ojabo with our first pick. Now, some of you guys might think that that's not the best move, but I love David Ojabo. And I love Jordan Davis as well. But I think creating pressure is so important. And Jordan Davis can certainly do it too. But I just think with the lack of help that they've got from the edge rusher position in the past few years and the disappointment that Dante Fowler has been, I mean, to bring in a guy like David Ojabo would just make things so much easier, you know, for the rest of the defense and the defensive coordinator as well. David Bell falls right into our lap here in round 2 out of Purdue. Just a very explosive playmaker there for the Boilermakers. Carson Strong is the potential quarterback of the future. Have him sit for a couple of years under Matt Ryan, and hopefully your quarterback, you know, your quarterback questions are all solved there. And then Drake Jackson as a potential project player to fill in opposite of David Ojabo, get him to rotate in with Dante Fowler a little bit. I think this is a good start or a good continuation of the rebuild that the Falcons currently have going on. But let me know what you guys think about this Atlanta Falcons mock draft in the comment sections below. But until the next mock draft video, I will see you guys all later. Peace.